All right. I'm gonna put let's get the party started. Nah, nah. Gotta worry about all that. I forgot what the what go. No. All right, guys, we're talking about mourning today and grief. The different stages. If it's really such thing, is it a subjective or objective thing? Is it per person? Do people have similarities when it comes to grief? How do you overcome it? I guess that's what we're gonna be really kind of talking about today, for the most part. Is people still grieving to this day? How long do grief last? Can you tell a person that's still grieving? What's the difference between being grieving and being bitter? We gonna figure all this stuff out tonight, though, for real. I do want to see. They say it's different stages to grief. I want to figure that out. Like, what do that mean? Like, what do it look like? Do it apply to every last person? Or is a lot of people maybe projecting the stages that they had to go through, or the different times they had to express themselves? I want to talk about when is it healthy? Is it healthy ways of grieving? Is it harsh ways? So, how do you find, different ways to let go or free yourself? Grieving that far from unforgiveness? Can it be close to grudges? Do people really want to escape? How are what are the coping mechanisms and the different things people tend to do? I wonder. Where did I find? It was something I came up here for. Not I figure it out. These things.
That's actually fucking cool.
Hello.
Yo, what's up, Space?
Not much, man.
What you got
So,
for me?
I don't really think that there are like set grieving stages.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do believe that there's definitely anger and denial. I do believe that they're real, but they're not actually stages. They're just a part of, general grief that's been experienced by billions.
Mm-hmm.
But sorry, I didn't read the third one. grieving hurt or become dangerous. I have a great example of that. So my brother died last year, right? And my dad, who's been an addict all his life, decided to go and get high again. And he had some terrible psychosis and was, waving pew-pews all around the house. So I feel like that's definitely an example. I feel like it can send you to some of the darkest places in your life. And you can cause so much harm to others, including and yourself. But why is grieving healthy? I don't think that there's like any healthy way to grieve. I feel like that every grief system is definitely its own grief system. There's no specific system, like perfect way to grieve. Sorry, my fiance was showing me something. But yeah, way to grieve, really, in my opinion.
Grieve how you grieve.
You grieve how you grieve, but it can absolutely cause harm to others, especially people in your family, especially yourself.
What do that mean?
And it can cause just like general harm to your life. It doesn't even have to be like, physical harm or emotional harm. You can, like, I dropped out of college because my brother died. Now I'm not going to get that education unless I can pay for it again,
Do you believe with the topic itself though? Do you believe it's majority of the time it's selfish?
I feel like grief, of course, is going to be selfish, but I don't think that being selfish is a bad thing always. Like people are generally going to do things for themselves throughout their lives, and that can be categorized as selfish, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Like, like I say, I want to go to college, or I want to buy this car, and that's not a selfish thing to do. It is a selfish thing to do, but it's not causing harm or doing any bad to anybody else. You're just doing something.
Yeah. I don't think selfish is being bad, but I guess it do have a negative.
I got a phone call. What was that?
I guess it do have a negative connotation when we hear the word selfish.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like people don't generally understand that there's positive to being selfish. Like taking care of yourself can be deemed as selfish.
Do you believe that's why a lot of people have unhealthy ways of grieving because of selfishness or a selfish way of looking at it?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I told you about my dad going and getting high after my brother passed away. He did the same thing when his parents passed away when I was young, abandoned me for years, and it was all about him. Everything always had to be about him when he was grieving. And like my brother wasn't even his biological son. It was my stepmom's son. And, she was grieving and he wasn't getting enough attention. So yeah, what he did was absolutely selfish. And I feel like that's kind of a common thing. It's not insanely common, but it's definitely out there more than it should be. And it's not properly dealt with.
I get that. Everybody got their ways. What I noticed, some people may grow out of it and some people get set back out of it.
Yep.
So the dependency that they had on their world. I think it's all about point of view. But what would be, I guess with the last one, what would be your best advice to overcome grief?
That's kind of why I started talking about the stages of grief and how I don't think that there's like any real stages. I do feel like there's segments of it. But I don't feel like there's any real stages because that grief is going to last your entire life, You
believe it?
It's never going to go away and there's no way to overcome it, but you can, do things for yourself and do things for others that, whatever you're grieving over would have wanted you to do good with. Like, you get your dream job because that person would have supported you through every moment of it. And things like that. I feel like that can definitely support you through grief and you can live, not in that person's eyes, but just in honor of them, I guess. Obviously not your whole life is going to revolve around them, but you kind of get what I mean, right?
Oh, why do you believe you gotta stay with grief your whole entire life?
Because I mean, it's always going to be there. The pain of losing somebody or like, you
It's
know,
how you
of
move around
anything.
it. Grief is always going to be a part of you.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a small part.
I think it'll be there as long depending on if you never change your perspective on how you view it. If you still, and that's, I think that also comes with healing, because that's almost like saying you can never heal. Also, then now that won't be the same thing because you can always remember the pain that you went through.
So I definitely feel like you can heal, but that pain that you went through is always going to be there. It's always going to come back at some point. Like you hear their favorite song and you're just going to burst into tears, or say your dog passed away. You're going to see their favorite toy or their favorite food and it's going to hit you a little bit in the heart. But that doesn't mean you can't still be a good person, be yourself outside of that. Like those parts of you and that grief will always be around. It's never going to go away. There's no chance of that. But it will, you'll grow around it.
Mm, interesting. Okay. I guess each person is different though. I guess some people stick with it, some people do.
What was
Um,
that?
say I guess each person is different. Some people stick with it, some people don't. I don't believe everybody like that. I don't think that's universal. I
Mm-hmm.
think some people. I think it's a choice also. It's a choice to stick with that mind state of letting the past affect you the same exact way it's been affecting you. I think that's like something
Mm-hmm.
you do within yourself. Because I'm gonna say I think plenty of people have lost people in their life, and sometimes it goes so far as in you almost it fades away a little bit. Sometimes once it be so long, you start focusing on your life and all type of other things you have to focus on. Because if it do affect somebody that much, that means you would probably wouldn't even be able to start another family or anything because you're so focused on you know, this person passing away. But I'm glad you said that because it shows that it is people out here that still holds on to grieving and mourning and stuff. So, but I do believe it's a escape. It's just I think anything with dealing with healing or forgiveness, because that's gonna be part of it too. Is that it's really about changing your perspective and how you view things. And then also you do your belief system. Some people don't believe in certain things, so that's why they also be stuck. So I said, I know we have to focus on ourselves more. We have a lot of work to do. Yes, exactly. Life is going to like when people realize that life is going to continue, no matter if you want to sit there and be sad the rest of your life, the life is just going to still revolve. Still going to keep going. That's just like if you pass away at a job, they're just going to replace you. They got to still keep doing their job. They can't stop the world from ticking and stop working because you passed away. They just going to replace you, and that's just how life is. People slowly come and go. We're here for a season. That's why it's best to try to do what you can and spread what you can before this little time you have on earth.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've known so many people that have just like tried to stick with that fresh grief and they've ruined their life over it.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Like sorry to like give you so many examples of my own personal life, but my whole life is filled with grief and like death
Yeah.
and all that. But like my mom, when her mom died, she was stuck in her ways for god years, from 2015 to 2020. And then
Mhm.
I finally, like, I made a change in my life. I couldn't deal with it anymore. So I moved in with my dad 700 miles away. And she was like, shit, I got to make some changes. So she did. And she's an amazing woman. She is so conscious now and she has healed so much of herself. And she's
Mhm.
healed like my relationship with her. Like, she's done so much work. It takes kind of that click to get somebody to kind of understand that grief it's not going to stay fresh forever. It's not something that you can hold on to.
Right.
Like once you find out somebody died, that like, that heart drop feeling, that's not going to be there forever. But
Yeah.
the pain of the death, like the pain of the loss will be. But that's just something that you have to let come to you and you
But the
deal with
fact
it
the
your own
fact
way.
that you said that you just proved that it don't be the same, bro. When it's not the same, that means you have did some healing and you change perspective. The thing is, I get you saying like you basically saying you won't forget the memory. You can change the way you react to that memory. I think
Exactly.
that way. So I believe that's what healing is. Because
Exactly.
things going to happen in our life. We're never going to erase it though. But I think when if we change the way we move, and that's a fine example because it's a fine example also.
Yeah. 100%.
Uh, but you just proved. I mean, you just showed it how your mother did it. Some people they stick, and some people like it. Just depend on what you prioritize in life. And just like I was talking about, I noticed the more selfish people are, the more they're going to be stuck in their grief. That's just what that is. Like
Yeah.
literally, because everybody's going to look at it. This shouldn't have went this way, and it's always going to go back to itself. And when you keep on viewing it that way, you will never overcome nothing really. Like you won't overcome breakups. You won't overcome you know, divorce, whatever the thing that happened in your life, you just will never overcome because if you always view it from yourself and this happened to me and I could have had this with this person, you just will never heal. You're gonna be sticking the same way forever. Because
Yep.
people like it. Mm.
Like God, last night I started like crying because somebody on a TV show I love watching is like, they got to be a model and my brother was a model and that just hit me, sideways and I just started crying.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean I couldn't enjoy the show.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I can't continue on. That should like grief shouldn't stop anybody from living comfortably, being themselves and, growing as a person, but it does so often and
Mhm.
constantly. Like the way that people deal with there's no right way to deal with it, but there are better ways to deal with it, worldwide, overall. You're supposed to heal. You're supposed to give yourself the freedom to be you and not let the grief control you. But people don't understand that because anytime somebody talks about grief, they're told, "Oh, well, there's no right way to grieve." You know, there is no right way to grieve, but there are right ways to take care of yourself through it.
I like that. That's true.
But I'm gonna hop off. Thanks for letting me talk.
All right, for sure, for sure.
It was good to see you, man. Hope everything's
Uh
okay.
oh, not Wellington back.
Oh, wait, am I? Am I a red flag?
You can be. You can be. Not
Hey,
you.
there's no hard feelings,
You're
man.
not.
If you block me, trust me, I won't hold anything against you. Let me see. Do we mourn for selfish reasons the majority of the time? Yeah, I think we do. I don't think we realize it's selfish until we really examine it. Why is grieving healthy? Grieving is healthy to a degree, but excessive grieving is just self-destructive.
Mm.
Is there really grieving sages? If so, what are the sages? I never really believed in that. I think there are grieving sages to people who are inactive. But those of us who have a goal and we're productive, I don't think we need all these different sages, bro.
Nice.
When when can grieving hurt or become dangerous? If you just let someone sink into depression, all right, someone they love dearly pass away and now they're just grieving and grieving and grieving, that's dangerous and it spreads. It's almost cancerous, and I wouldn't want anything to do with it. Let's see. What would be your best advice to overcome grief? Stay busy. Stay busy. Get a large amount of sunlight. Fasting from food and water. I know this sounds counterproductive, but fasting helps a bunch, like a whole lot. In fact, I would say that it's one of the only things that can truly heal anyone. People who are constantly eating, uh, they don't heal for some reason. And I think that's about it. How about you, man? Do you agree, disagree?
I think I messed with most of the stuff you said though. I think
All right.
it's like it sounded like when you said what was that? You just said something where dang you said something before on the dang I forgot. And it made me think about man, what the freak I was trying to say.
The different stages of grieving, not that
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
really
something
believe
said
in.
after that one though, and I was thinking about they do that with like relationships and stuff. Where oh no, reason why they can't. Man, I'll remember. It'll come back to me later, I guess, or whatever. But yeah, that
It's
that
all
is
love.
true. That is true about the yeah, because I'm trying to say it's per person. Everybody say different things though, but it can become stages. But I like I said, I believe the more self centered you are, the more harder it is to become to get away from grief. You're gonna be just stuck for the most part. If you still viewing things the same way, that means you never did. You know, you never did the work. A lot of people just get put up with though. That's just what they don't want. People don't understand what forgiveness is. Things gonna happen in your life.
Yeah, people get stuck in a rut, man. I don't know if you heard about the whole, I guess, welfare or food stamps being cut off for a little bit, and like
Yeah.
everyone's freaking out. I was like, I know this doesn't seem like a good thing, but some of these folks have been in a spell. They've been under a spell. They do the
Mm.
same things every day. They never try to get out of their bubble. And this is actually going to help them out a lot in the long run, especially. They just don't see it as a blessing.
They don't, because when you're dependent on something, what happened on that one? Sometimes you gotta get put in the mud before you realize the things that you have inside yourself. That's what it
Yep.
is. We grew up in
You're
a
actually a
generation
slave.
of reliance, and always, we're entitlement. Like all that stuff is tearing us up. That's why I teach against it. The more entitled you feel towards things, the less grateful you become. Oh, rare. What's up, rare?
What it do? What it do?
You got for me, man.
Yeah, I mean, grieving, all that stuff. I think it was taught in a false way. Like, them people that's gone and all that, they don't care about your feelings no more. They don't care about nothing. So, like, most people, I seen a lot of people, it done held them back, ain't let them progress forward in life, and they worried about a person that can't worry about them.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that person, all right, so I don't believe in that, but like if you believe in the Bible, they're either in up or down. So they not thinking about you regardless.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So like for you to be cause I know like my ex-wife, she holds on, she used to hold on to anybody that passed away type of thing. So
Mm.
like yeah, like her dad unalived when she was real young, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just more real, like in real life. So like she wasn't even old enough to really remember the dude. So I'm like, how does that matter? And I get it, but it's like, how does it matter? You wasn't even at this age, I'm 33, right?
Right.
I can't really tell you that. I could tell you a few memories from when I was like 4 or 5, maybe 5 for sure. But like anything that done happened at 4, even 13 and all that stuff, I don't remember all that stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like for you to be 30 something, 40 something, and you every year when that person's passing, you getting sad. That was like a big trap because it's just like they don't care. Just like how like people get like somebody dish your unalived homie, right?
Right.
Your unalived homie don't care.
Right. That's true. That's true. I like that.
You caring, you about to join them and you ain't gonna care soon. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like
That's
nobody can like move on. It don't matter. Like that person's not thinking about none of this. Like
mhm.
so that's grieving is just a stupid concept because it's like if the world's so messed up like y'all portraying, you should be happy that they got up off this jump.
Mm. That's the
That's
thing.
just how I feel. I just keep it real because I feel like when you really learn what's real in life, it's like all the stuff that was once real that's fake as I don't know what now.
Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause I think once set your mindset dang, I be having brain farts lately though. But yeah. Once you change the way you view it, that's the biggest thing with anything when it comes to stuff like.
So if you grieve somebody pass away, why don't you grieve when somebody ghosts you?
Right. I think people cope. That's another thing. People like to cope.
Man, that it's more fish to fry, and you out here, you still gotta get it. Like
Mm-hmm.
rental office don't care that that person passed away. Like you gotta still pay the rent, bro. So it don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And what
Something
you
you said
gonna
about the
do?
Bible, brother. The
You
Bible
say
actually
what?
says you go to a deep sleep. That's all that happens. So when someone passes away, even if you love them very much, they're not right away going into any bad place. They're going into a sleep. Now, when the Most High returns and He does His judgment thing, then they'll eventually be, either elevated or lowered into somewhere else.
Oh, I
But
see
even that
somebody
doesn't
did some
last
reading.
forever.
Somebody did some reading, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but they sleeping, so they don't care that
exactly.
you sad.
That too, right.
Exactly.
So
That
like
is right.
who like
You
once you cross over, don't know whoop de doo. Like what like it's like, oh yeah, the most high coming back. Cool. Like
exactly.
okay, you still gotta pay, you gotta put gas in your car. The
Mm-hmm.
most high nor the person that's unalive thinking about that. You gotta think about that.
Hey, the other thing is like, I don't know why I've been having a brain fart lately, but we was talking about what is this talking about? He was talking about, man, what is wrong with me today? I literally just had a brain fart after brain fart. Having too much on my mind. It was fucking. I wanted to see. Everything back down. Whatever.
Mr. Whiskey, he probably loves the Lord. You love the
Yeah,
Lord, Mr.
Most High.
Whiskey?
Absolutely. He's done a
That's
lot for
good.
me, for us.
That's usually the people. I had to be real with myself, right? The Lord really, I haven't got a chance to be on that end of the coin where the Lord's done the most for me, right? So like the only reason I had to really wake up one day and I was like, the only reason I ever believed in this because it was a possibility to go to the fireplace. And then after I went through real life, I don't even care if I go to the fireplace, to be honest with you. Like I don't like what it doesn't matter. Like what you mean? I'm gonna go through some more struggling. Well, whoop de doo. I'm back. I'm still in it.
Well, nowhere in the
Oh,
Bible does it say that you're going to burn in heck forever and ever and ever.
It
So
says
the churches
eternity.
teach. No,
Like
no. I mean, I'll look into it again, but I swear we just did a whole panel on this and we read it. I think what's happening is that the church itself is using hell to scare you into certain
yeah, scare
behaviors.
tactics. Yeah.
Yeah, but the actual Bible, like 360 times, some crazy number, says, "Be not afraid, have no fear. Be not afraid, have no fear." And it's like he's predicting everything that's happening right now. People are getting evicted at record numbers. They're losing their jobs left and right. They feel and look destitute. And it's all spiritual. Because if you actually kind of be still for a second, you look around you and you ask yourself, well, what's wrong right now? What's wrong with me right now? Nothing's really wrong with you. Literally, nothing's really wrong with you. You don't have the same place that you once had, but you're still eating. You still have something over your head. You're still alive and mobile and healthy. But they have you feeling like if you don't have this specific vehicle and you're not on this level, socially speaking, you're worthless. And like you're the one who's going to drive yourself to self unaliving. That's when people start getting themselves out of here. When they feel like they're not good enough for the next person who really don't give a fuck about you. Like these other people care nothing about you. So why are you trying to impress them?
and you
Like
know
I
who
never
really
understood
don't
that.
care about you? The person that's in the dirt. So like that's the grief that just goes back to the grieving.
Oh, that I had thought about it. That's what it is, though, right? And you most definitely right though, because it's not. The thing is, like, have you ever heard like when somebody goes into surgery and they get put to sleep for so long, right? Like literally, if they go to sleep for too long, they will lose memory. Like they really wouldn't even know what's going on. They don't know where they at or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So that shows like people be thinking that as soon as somebody passes away, that they just all over them and watching them and all this other stuff, and that stuff is not true. Like even if we was to do the deep reading, and I'm glad Whiskers had, because nobody talk about that for real. I had looked that up myself too. I realized you're just gonna be in a deep unconsciousness. You're not gonna even have dreams or nothing. You're just gonna be,
Yeah.
probably know what you're
You
going
really think if I make it my first moments going into the afterlife, even the first 100 years or whatever. You think I'm coming back to see what y'all doing on? I know what y'all doing over there. I'm worried about what's over here now.
Bro, we have
What
got
the
to
Most
put
High
you
got
on
for you.
YouTube or something. I swear.
You said
Oh
what?
God, we need to put you on YouTube or something. I swear, man, you are fucking. You got this comedic energy about you, but you're 100% right. I think that's what makes it funny. Because if there was an afterlife, the last thing you're thinking about is your past life. In fact,
Yeah, I don't
I
gotta
can
shower
almost
no
promise
more. I
you.
don't gotta sleep
Right.
no more. I'm trying to see what's over here because they don't tell, like, can't nobody tell us what's over there. So we don't have
Well,
no
here's the thing.
confirmation.
I think that we've all passed away before. At least I know I have. I know I've died before, and I'm just like I can't remember all the details of my past deaths, but I'm pretty sure I died before. And it's like I doubt this is the first time I've been here or the first time I've been alive. So I think what's really happening, and I don't even know if it's true, but it's almost as if the moment we pass away, it seems like we start another life. Now, if the Bible's real and there's a period where we just go to sleep, right? We just go to sleep, then the judgment might be to see where they send us next,
Yeah, because I'm
depending on
like,
how you behaved. Yeah.
do you think people come like you? Do you think that people will come back as like could come back as an animal and all that stuff?
Nah.
That's a good question. It wouldn't surprise me if they did, because I see light and awareness in my cat's eyes, dude. That's why I don't even
Yeah,
go, hey, doodle, schnickle, I don't do none of that. I talk to them like they grown men. I come home, sit on the porch, and just talk to them like, hey, how y'all been? Like, what's going on? And they'll look around, and it's like they understand me. They just can't communicate back with me. It's crazy. So if
yeah.
you
I
said
just
that was
can't
the case, I
believe.
would agree with you.
I just believe like sometimes that's a blessing. You could come back as a good dog or a cat, because then like you get the right owner, man. You're like, I done seen some of these animals have the best life. I'm like, dang, man.
I still got it. Let me get uh
Jesus is God.
all right, I don't even want to call her neither one of them, but I was just saying
No, you.
the
I'm so sorry. You can call me Dee Dee.
Didi. Okay, what you got for me, Didi?
I'm maybe not agreeing with the whole cat and dog thing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's cool though. You could just after you do the panel. I mean, do the topic real quick, then you can go back. You can talk about that
Sorry.
afterwards. I said after you do the topic first, and then you can go talk about that afterwards.
Absolutely. No, we mourn for selfish reasons the majority of the time.
Yeah, do we? Do we?
I would say maybe yes. Why is grieving healthy? Grieving is not healthy. So I can't answer that part. Is there really grieving stages? If so, what are the stages? So that's why I came on here, because my father, he was 98. He passed away February 2022. And then my brother, he was 56. He had bladder cancer. He passed away in February 2024. And then my mother, she was 80. She passed away in February this year. So, sometimes I think that we are not ready to grieve, and we shouldn't be told when to grieve. And I think maybe I won't grieve. I don't know. But I don't know. You know what I mean? But I came on the live because I think that it's I think that you have a good I understand why you're doing it, but maybe for me it's just too close that I wouldn't I don't know, maybe I get angry.
Right.
Sorry. But sorry. That's all I had. Sorry.
Oh, but I would say, do you believe people have to grieve? Is that just, or is it bound to happen in life? Or
No, I don't, because I have yet to grieve for
yeah,
my dad, my brother, or my mom. I have yet to grieve, but I didn't really know my brother that well, and then my mom, she was a severe narcissist. So I promise you, I'll never grieve over her. My dad, he's from Minnesota, and I'm in Texas. So when I found out he passed, it was kind of like, oh, that sucks. It's so bad. But I hadn't seen him in 30 years because I live in Texas. He
you
lives in,
believe she chose
you
to be
know.
a narcissist?
Sorry,
You believe she chose to be a narcissist?
my mother.
Yeah.
Oh, sweetheart, yeah. I could tell you stories, yeah. I think she looked it up. I think she looked up the word and went on it and just, yeah, yeah. So I have not grieved my mother, and I probably never will. So, yeah. Because she was
What is grieving to you?
she's
And
a mean she was a mean person, and she was a mean person. So, yeah, probably won't ever grieve her. Yeah.
So what do grieving look like to you, or what do you believe it is?
I think that if you grieve, that you actually feel bad, not bad for yourself, but you feel bad that the person is gone, and you cry. You cry, and if you think about, if someone goes away, right, and you never see him again, then you grieve what you used to do with them, that you can't do it again. You can't do things with them again that you used to do. I don't have that with my family. So I don't grieve.
Do you wish you have it with your family?
I can't answer that because I never did have it. So I'm in
Maybe that's the reason why you don't want to grieve, because you probably did want to have it, but you didn't get it. So now that's the reason why you don't feel
well,
that
I
way.
don't grieve because I didn't have that. So I'm not sure. I
Yeah, but you
mean,
said you literally said that you're not gonna grieve because this person was, whatever you said, fill in the blank.
mm,
So it's like you have some reason that you made you said this is the reason why you're not gonna do it. So if this person wasn't like that, would you had grieved?
no, because they weren't like that. I wish they were, but they weren't.
Yeah, so you do wish they would. That's what I was saying. So if,
Of
if
course, we always wish people were different than they are, but they're
would you
not.
say you were
But
coping?
I didn't change anything about my life because she was that way. So we just, ended things, and
But what make wouldn't you? So some things I learned in life is that sometimes your parents can only do as much as the little knowledge they go. Do you believe that you grew better than your parents, or you might be the same way?
do you think, are you asking me if I'm like my parents?
Yes. Do you believe you're better than them now? Like sometimes you surpass your parents in certain things, or do you believe y'all the same exact way?
No, I don't lie to my children, so therefore I am better than my parents.
So if you're better than your parents,
Yeah, I
why?
am.
If you're better than them, why not act better than them?
I do act better. Of course I act better than them.
Yeah, but you said because your parents was a certain way, now you are going to treat them worse. Nah,
Sir,
not
right,
better.
my parents, yes. Treat my parents worse, yes.
Yes. So if
Here's the
you
thing, though. But sir, I think you misunderstood. My dad, right? My father, my father passed away in 2022. Okay, he died. My mother passed away in 2025 in May. So I don't have parents now.
I understand that.
Okay, so
Don't you believe in Jesus?
I don't have to go by their example, which I never did anyway. So
Don't you believe in Jesus?
Do I believe in Jesus?
Yeah, don't you?
Amen. He's my best friend, of course.
If he's your best friend, how do you show to him how do you show that he's your best friend? Do you think he will want you to not forgive your parents or parent?
Well, we never talked about forgiveness.
No, I'm just saying because it's obvious it's a you have
Well, no,
a
but yeah,
grudge.
you and I
You got a
never
grudge.
talked about forgiveness. We just talked about my parents.
Yeah, so I'm saying it seemed that you have a grudge against them because you said because she's a narcissist, you're not going to grieve for her.
Well, actually, my mother's already gone, so I can't
I
control what.
understand that. I
Yeah,
understand that. But I'm
yeah,
saying it's on you have a feeling towards your mother. The reason why you don't express.
yeah. But as a child of God, which I am, I'm allowed to have my thoughts and my feelings and all that stuff, you know?
You're also supposed to follow what the child of God is supposed to do. Also, if you're a
And I
follower of
do.
Christ.
I do that.
Yeah, so he wanted so you if you read, I'm pretty sure you read right. That's the reason why you got Jesus as God. If
Amen.
you should follow what Jesus wants for us. So he wants us to forgive. He wants us to be selfless. He wants us to, and then even you shouldn't have to
What
make
are G laws? What are they?
Say over again.
If you don't know, I'll tell you.
No, I said your stuff broke up. I couldn't hear you.
I'm sorry. If you don't know, I'll tell you.
I
I
don't know
can
the
tell
question
you.
you asked me.
Jesus Christ said, love your God with all your heart, all your might, all your soul, and love your neighbor
Right.
like yourself. Okay, I understand that we have a lot of commandments in the Old and New Testament, but Jesus Christ said these two laws. That's all he said. That's all he said.
Yeah. So
No one can, no, please. No one can debate me on that. That is all he said. Love your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. That is all Jesus Christ said as far as like rules, okay? So I do that and I will continue to do that. And my neighbor is anyone, everyone, right? Everyone. Doesn't matter. It's everyone.
how do you display love and you have a grudge against a person at the same exact time?
I don't have a grudge against anyone.
You have a grudge. You basically saying you have a grudge against your mother. You said
No,
because
I
she.
moved on from that. She's
Huh?
gone, and I moved on from
You
that.
couldn't have
So,
moved on because if you moved on, you would have talked. You would have talked high about your mother.
sir,
Not.
I don't have to talk about my mother. I was just letting you know from what we were talking about before. My mom's gone. I don't
Do you drink?
no, actually I don't drink.
Hmm.
I need to
I'm
drink,
about to say
but
I know so many different forms people tend to do when
no, you know what? I wish I did, but I had a thyroid removed from my neck about like 2016, and I had a tumor which was about 11 pounds on my neck. It's hard to describe, but I take pills, okay, but I can't drink with the pills. I wish I could, but I can't. So anyway, and are you ready? Are you ready for this?
what?
Hello? Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. In are you there? Sorry, am I boring you?
I'm here. I'm listening. I'm waiting. You saying half words.
So, I'm saying half words.
Yeah, you was saying, and then you kept stopping.
Okay, but I wasn't saying half words when I was just speaking to you.
Go ahead.
Hmm?
So go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. So in 2019, I had a I didn't have a stroke, but I had Bell's palsy. So when I speak, people tend to
Hey
think
y'all.
that I've been.
What's up?
How you doing, Jesus God? How
I'm
you doing,
fine.
Kev?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. Is it too late to answer the prompt?
No, it's not too late. Over. It's too late to not be sharing. Dang.
Stop it. But no, I know, right? When I tell you that this was the best beef stew my husband has ever made, it was the best. Like, he did some weird
About
stuff with
greedy,
it.
not being greedy.
Man, this man put fajita seasoning in it, and I never, ever, ever thought that I would like fajita seasoning in a beef stew. He said, I was just experimenting, babe. It tastes like caldo de res. I'm over here eating it with some tortillas. I said, you did your thing. This is not beef stew. This is caldo de res. Now.
I can hear the success in it.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm telling you, like, it's delicious. But no. So for grief, why is grieving healthy? I feel like grieving is
The
healthy.
first green one too.
Oh, the first one, my bad. Do we mourn for selfish reasons the majority of the time? I would say no. I would definitely say no. And I would say though that it depends on the attachment that you had to the person, but no, I don't think that the grief itself is selfish. Why is grieving healthy? I believe that grieving is healthy because it gives you a chance to process your emotions over the loss of your loved one. For me particularly, it would be my son. It took me a while to get over losing my son, Jariah. Are there really grieving stages? And if so, what are the stages, baby? There's definitely grieving stages. I don't have the stages of grief memorized, but I can tell you that I thought I was over anger until recently. This recent holiday season coming up, I'm taking this course called Grief Share at church. I thought I was over it. I'm not over it. I'm not. I just stuffed the anger down and I'm going back through it, and it's a lot. It says, when can grieving hurt or become dangerous? So I feel like for me personally, I can't speak for anybody else, but when the grief becomes debilitating, where you're no longer taking care of yourself, you're no longer taking care of your responsibilities, and the grief has consumed you. At that point, I would say that the grief has now become dangerous, and it's not just grief now.
When you
I would say that.
stuff yourself, when you say you stuff yourself, what did you mean by that?
No, babe, I stuffed the anger down.
I got you. You basically saying
Yeah, I did not process it properly. I kind of went through, I was like, you know what? I have to keep going. Because when my son passed away, I was in college. And I was in for my associate's degree. And I was right there at the end of my associate's degree. So even though my professors, even though they empathized with me, I couldn't just stop. Not only that, but I was holding down a full-time job, and it was a whole thing. Like I couldn't stop. And then shortly after that, I got pregnant with my triplets. So it's like I really didn't have a chance to stop and grieve for what happened to my son, because my son, he was actually he was unalived.
Do you believe grieving is a must?
I do believe it's a must.
Why so?
I believe that grieving is a must because when we don't process those emotions, we get things like me 4 years later. My son passed in 2019. Here it is, 2025, 6 years later, and I'm just barely processing it. And I think that delayed healing prevented me from showing up for those around me, particularly when my grandfather passed, when my grandmother passed. I was not able to be fully present because that grief only was compounded by the grief that I didn't process.
Okay.
And I also feel like it messed up my son being born. So the triplets are all girls, but my youngest being born, when he was born, I about had a mental breakdown in the hospital because when he was born, and I went to change that diaper, and I saw a little something that was, in the diaper that was very different. I about lost it because it took me back to when I had given birth to my son, and I'm like, this is not him though. This is bring it back. This is not him. And that let me know as well. So it's like my son coming into this world, my last born, was not as joyous because I had not processed my grief. And that was not fair to him.
Okay. That sound like how like trauma response from that's what it seemed like when when it reflects on something, that happened or something like that.
Right.
I know a chick that I know of that just had because she seen her father pass away in her hands and stuff, and every now and then.
Same. My son passed away in my arms. I held him with his last couple of breaths. And it was very difficult. And then the last one, what would be your best advice to overcome grief? I would say reach out. Absolutely. Reach out to your community, use your resources. Don't hermit, because when my son passed, it was a little bit harder for me to do that as well because of everything that happened. He passed in December 2019. He passed on December 27, 2 days after Christmas. And right after that, we went directly into COVID. So even though I did reach out, the resources that are normally available were literally shut down during that period of time. And it was just me, myself, and I.
So can you explain to me, what do grieving look like?
Grieving is different for everybody. I can say that initial stage for me was just the crying, the feelings of emptiness, the coming home to, the crib. And after coming home from the hospital and seeing the crib and seeing the clothes and everything, that was difficult. Coming from home from the intensive care unit without my son, it was, I would say that would be, for me, the initial grieving was just a lot of tears, a lot of crying, and a lot of introspective work.
Okay.
But yeah, I slid in here to kind of save you because I saw that the conversation that you were before was a little rough.
I know. I just go try to figure it out, so I ask a lot of questions so I can, understand. Because I think some things.
And I heard you trying. I did, which is why I kind of stuck around because I waited to see if it would get better. And I'm like, yeah, this ain't getting better. So
yeah, I was gonna try to be patient. See, my baby get me together, man. I'm trying to learn how to, operate with people and stuff for real. So I was like, man, we'll figure this out though, without her triggering me.
Yeah, I love her. She is such a gem. Rachel is such a blessing.
Yeah, oh yes.
She keep me laughing.
Yeah.
But okay. Well, I see you got somebody else up here, so y'all have a good night.
All right, for sure. Yep.
Okay.
Appreciate you. Yeah. I am second. What you got for me, man?
Yeah, I feel like grieving is a natural process of things. Like, you really need to get that stuff off your chest before you could actually move on. You need to, like, even if it's talking to yourself or somebody else, you need to, like, get that out of your space, push it out so that you can build more. It's a natural thing.
What do So what makes grieving so important though? So once you get it out, do it ever come back?
I mean, I guess it does come back, but like it's just like talking about your problems. It's important because if you bottle stuff up, you will explode. Like you can't you can't walk through this world by yourself. Whether you talking to like God or like your mom, your friends, your girlfriend, whatever. So you gotta get that off your chest. And once you like say stuff out loud and put it out in the air, you can low key logically you could like just like start like, all right, where do I need to begin here? Because honestly, you gotta admit, it sounds our stuff makes more sense when you say it out loud rather than just thinking in your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So do you believe like grieving could be like a coping mechanism? Because the fact that you said it come right back eventually, so it make you feel good at the moment to let it out, but it really don't solve the problem, do it?
I see what you're getting at. I wouldn't consider it coping though, because it's just a process of things. Like you gotta push old stuff out to bring new stuff in. I wouldn't consider it as coping. Yeah, like it might come back, and you might think about it, but like you already did all that crying and stuff. You know what I mean? You already did all like the ugly cry. You already did all the complaint, quote unquote complaining and stuff. It's just like what's next. You know what I mean? You already got that off your chest. It's like, all right, let's do something else. Let's fix it.
Hmm. I can see that. I can see that. And I guess with the did you let me see, why is grieving healthy? So did you explain? You explained why that was healthy. You said basically it's like a way to express yourself. So I can see that though. Like I do believe it can be healthy. And then I guess we'll get to the third one. So is what's the next one? Is there really grieving stages? If so, what are the stages?
I don't think there's any stages of grief. I think, well, I guess there are stages of grief, but like, I don't know. It's like stages. Grief is a part of the stages. I guess the stages of grief for me, I can only speak for me. Is like you start to beat yourself. Is pause, pause.
A
You start
crazy
to,
way to
yeah.
let go of your grief. I don't know who that is,
Stop.
but I ain't getting too excited off that grief.
Stop. For me, it's like you talk to yourself on inside your head, like you're like, why, and then it's like you start to like ask other people why, and then like I guess another stage would be like, all right, well, like not expecting an answer from people, but like looking for help. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
not not asking for well, how do I do this? It's like, well, what would you do? Type stuff. Or like, what do you think I should do? Type stuff. I'm not saying like people are gonna give you answers because nobody's God. You know what I'm saying? We're all human. And like, but it's just asking for help. I guess.
Hmm. Even with the first one, right? Do you believe it's a lot of selfishness behind mourning and grieving?
Uh, I guess it is kind of selfishness, kinda, sorta. Like, cause you really just think about yourself. Where you, or I mean, you could grieve for other people too. So, nah, I don't think it is selfish. You could grieve for other people.
I even think empathy, like that could be a form of self. A lot of times you're trying to only reason why you're doing it because you're trying to relate to this person. So that's still got to deal with self. You're like, oh, I can feel that because most of the time when you hear people say that, like, oh, I could just imagine if that happened to me. So it's like it always kind of go back to self, even though you're doing it for other people. But it's like it takes I think a little level of selfishness, I would say. And I think to get to the main point is that do you believe that's the reason why a lot of people have to grieve so much, or is an extended period of mourning because of uh not looking beyond self or viewing it from just a self perspective?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people in the generation that we live in, the world that we live in, a lot of people be grieving because for like selfish reasons, and a lot of people like the second one, they drag it on way too far because people who are grieving and stuff, like they get a special light and whatever, they get a little bit of leeway. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like it is kind of selfish. I do take that back. It is kind of selfish.
Mhm.
Not all the
Because think
time,
about
but
it.
it
Think
is
about it. Like I
selfish.
was saying this earlier, is that a lot of time when you grieving, you be like, man, I used to do this with them, and I used to, otherwise I used to be like that, and we could have been, and we could have that, and it's always like majority of the time it's like what you felt like you should have done with this person, or it might be like some disappointment, and this person could have become that, I don't know. It's like this thing that we just put our own mind, and we really don't even know how people may view it. Though I believe a lot of people done stayed alive because of just like not pulling the plug and stuff for your own selfish reason, and they over there suffering, stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel it, man.
And then when can it be grieving hurt or become dangerous?
Like when you don't ask for help, when you just complain, and not even ask for help, you not even do anything to help yourself. Like
Mm.
when you sit in that pool of just sadness, you're gonna put yourself in a dark corner that nobody wants to reach in and pull you out of. And it's just like at some point you have to like it's we all play the game. It's called life. We all play this game, bro. Like stuff happens. This is a cake, cupcakes and rainbows. I wish it was, but it's not. You feel me? Like when you don't want to help yourself, you're kind of like unbearable to be around.
Mhm. Do you believe like when people still like when they say their story and stuff, and people that look forward to people saying that oh, I feel bad that went to happen to you, or oh, sincere my sincereness to you, or something like that. Do you believe like that is like a still form of that you haven't let it go? If that would still excite you, or that still bring that inner I'm trying to think of the word. It's like a dopamine effect in a way. So it's like
Yeah,
a yeah,
like
like so it's like some people be looking for that. Oh, my sincereness. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They say
like for
stuff
people
like
to feel
that,
sorry for
to
you.
make you feel good.
Yeah, for people to feel sorry for you, for people to like, if you're looking for that as a grown adult, honestly, you are unbearable to be around. To me, at least, like,
Mm.
like if you get a rise out of people feeling bad for you, that's a horrible mindset that you need to like break out of.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's a horrible mindset. You should want people to be proud of you. You should want people to be happy for you, but sad for you. Like you don't even want to be sad for yourself. Why would you want other people to feel sorry for you? Like,
Mhm.
I mean, I guess I kind of said that wrong. Like, there is a certain amount of time where, like, damn, it does feel kind of good, but if you stretching it for like years and years and that becomes your whole personality, yeah,
Right.
don't talk to me.
It'd be like I believe it like it's a form of controlling your atmosphere.
It's almost like
Or
manipulation. That's what
yeah, so
it
you
is.
tend to say things that you know that connect the people hurt and stuff,
It's
and you
pulling
say
on
it
people's
to basically get your way.
yeah, pulling on people's heartstrings. That's
Mhm.
manipulation.
Or
Like
as
you
soon
trying
as something don't go your way, you be like, man, that's because it happened to me. You know what I'm saying? And when that they do stuff like that, I like, man, you just got to cussing somebody out, and now you want to come with this crying stuff, like,
you just cussed me out. I mean, now
all
you
right.
crying like you know.
Cuss me out. Now you want me to feel sad for you after? Like I believe that's manipulation. Like Carter, that's straight manipulation. People manipulate their grieving to get their way. I mean, that's why I say a lot of the times I believe is us. It's more self. I would say more. I ain't gonna say it's all because I don't know. I'm trying to think of other reason why it can be selfless of mourning. But I mean, all feelings are selfish though, because it's gonna be how you feel. So whatever. But I'm talking about the reasons and stuff. A lot of times, people put themselves in a unalive person's shoes and said they could have done this. They not thinking about that. They done. You know what I'm saying? They already in the next journey of life, or unlock not I guess well next journey in or chapter in they. I can't think of the word to say because it ain't life.
Yeah,
The next
existence.
chapter. Yeah, existence and stuff. So I'm pretty sure they're not coming back and thinking about what's going on Earth.
Yeah, I've heard, especially a lot of people on TikTok. Like, a lot of people will get on TikTok and they talk about they not even talk about. They act like they know what's what. They know everything that's going on with the right thing. But if you let them talk a little bit more, those kind of people, they will show you they are not trustworthy people. Like they're bad
hmm
people. It's like it's kind of hard to listen to you when you self contradict yourself every time you speak.
hmm That's the person that's just trying to fit in or be chosen.
just want to be heard. Everybody want to be heard, but like you don't gotta say you don't have to do all
Want to
that.
be heard, but don't want to listen.
That too, yeah.
Oh, my boy Taps coming up. Yo.
Yo.
How you feeling, man? Yeah, it's just, yeah, this, I think this needs to be so, because, like, it's so many, like, I'm glad we talked about how, people use it for manipulation, to get their way, to find a reason to not move forward in life. And a lot of times I just believe, and that probably ties back into, when it becomes dangerous or hurt, and people willing to live with it, because like when you get rewarded for these things, a lot of people is getting rewarded to be feeling sad for, that's why they don't feel like they have to change it and stuff. But if they keep getting that, they're gonna just keep using it to their advantage. It's people that just take advantage of things, the advantage taking people.
Definitely, yeah.
hmm What you got for me, Taps? Let's see what you got on this, man. What you got?
Do we mourn for selfish reasons? The majority of the time. To mourn is completely selfish. Um, it is an act for self. It's a way to get over or to heal from a certain thing. A person doesn't always have to pass for you to mourn either. You could be mourning a relationship or mourning the absence of something. It's not always surrounded around the passing of a person, but it could be, like I said, the absence and all that other stuff. And yes, it is selfish. It's for you. It's something that helps you get through. Um, Now
Mm.
we can't really judge a person's mourning process without knowing 100% of the feelings they once had or fucking experience, the times that they experienced. Everybody mourns something different. I wouldn't mourn my homeboy the way I would mourn my mother or my child
Yeah.
or ex or things of that nature. So I can't really say. Now, do you got people that will keep throwing in your face? I have met a person like that. No bullshit. I'm not even gonna put their name out there. But their brother passed decades ago. I mean decades ago. And every opportunity to fucking bring his name up or describe how he passed, or I mean any opportunity to, it was taken. It was taken every single time, and I became fatigued with that shit because it's like, damn, I get it. All right, we get it. But like, I feel like that's when it becomes more of a tactic than actual healing, form of healing.
Mm.
We can weaponize the mourning, but that also judges a person's character. You got a person that is looking for a reason, as you were saying earlier when I was listening. You got some people that look for reasons to stay complacent, or look for reasons to even collect sympathy. We got sympathy collectors, empathy collectors. This is why I'm doing this. So I stole that money from you because I ain't been in the right headspace because my people sad.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? You got people that do weaponize this, and that also becomes very fatigued. I'm tired of that shit.
I feel it. I'm about to gift you just because, bro, you ain't telling a lie. I ain't heard a lie yet.
Yeah, it'd be
I
like
was just
that,
about to
man.
say, me try to squeeze you in real quick, man. Get something to
Not-
give me.
I mean, man, listen, Taps done took it out of my head, man. I came up here to say the exact same thing. Like literally, man. Like I'll be honest. I'm guilty of the same actions, man. Like my best friend, I wear him around my neck, and I used it as a weapon to honestly self-sabotage. It was an excuse to drink. I was a vicious alcoholic. I didn't take responsibility in my actions. Thank you, bro. You know, I didn't take responsibility and accountability of myself, and I just was like, you know what, my best friend's gone. Like, I ain't got nobody else to ride with me. Blah blah blah. Like, you know, all these fake dudes around me, and you know, it just I used it as a crutch for a long time, and then I was just like, one day I just woke up like. You know, I looked at myself in the mirror, man. It was bad. My face was like I had orange eye. I was damn near jaundice.
Yeah,
I was
that's
real
bad.
jaundice, man. It was bad, man. I was going through kidney failure and everything from drinking so much. Yeah, yeah, man. It was bad, you know. And I got people in my life that's still like that. Every, you know, my birthday was yesterday, you know, and I got family members that still to this day. My uncle passed away on my birthday. Yeah, he was unalived. You know, he was in the streets, you know, violent and doing whatever, made enemies and everything. And you know, when he passed, now I can't be celebrated in life because every time my birthday comes around, everybody's like, "Oh, so we're gonna go to the cemetery and do this and that." Like I don't know if y'all ever experienced saying "Happy Birthday" on top of somebody else's tombstone.
Boy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like the mourning process is wicked. I just had to coach my wife through it because her mother passed away from cancer, and you know, she was using it as a crutch a lot. Like she didn't, you know, I know she was sad. You know, that's your mom, man. You know, I'm never gonna like lessen somebody's pain from their parents passing, but especially with cancer. But you know, it got to a point where I'm just like, you know, I understand you're hurt, but we got these bills to pay, and we got a baby to like. You're pregnant. Like we have a baby on the way, love. Like you need to help. Like let's go. Come on, get up, and shrug it off. You know, we're here. I got you. But you know, that's all it is, man. So, like, my best advice for somebody overcoming grief is don't think about the times that you lost with them. Talk about the times that were great. You know, the things you learned from them, the good things that you can instill in your life. You know, like, that's the whole point of death. Like the whole point of unaliving is for us to be able to appreciate the things that we lose. You know, we appreciate. So many people take this life for granted, man. Like the breath just waking up in the morning. The fact that I hear people, the first thing they do is brush their teeth. Like the first thing I do when I wake up is I thank God.
There you go.
I wake up and I thank God. Like, thank you for giving me this gift, and a lot of people don't realize it, whether they believe in him or not. He gives us the right to live every day. When you sleeping, it's him that wakes you up.
My finger hurt off to go to clap.
Like for real, man. Like I used to be the same. Like I speak from experience because I was ignorant and foolish. I used to look at God like, yeah, whatever. I did this, I did that, but I never once gave God thanks for the things giving me the strength, to give me the wisdom. I used to think I'm smarter than everybody. I got a 4.8 GPA. I'm a genius. Like, yeah, but at the same time I was ignorant and foolish. So God dumbed me down. You know, hard head made a soft ass out of me, man. Like now I look at it and I was like, man, I'm glad I got kids I can teach these things down to them.
There you go. There you go. See, look, Caps ain't pick everything, man. You had a whole testimony, man. There you go.
I know, right? Yeah, I was just trying to piggyback off of what he said, you know.
Oh man, that's
I ain't gonna lie, most of that was really just off of the heart. I wasn't even thinking of none of that. That just came out.
Yeah, it needed to be said, man. Show that people actually experienced it. And the good part about it, man, took accountability in the situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Like life is so precious, man. Like I'm sitting in a room right now. It's just me and my 6-month-old. She's about to be 7 months on the 14th, and I just be looking at her like, man. Like the little moments, man. The little moments be making me so much more grateful for just being alive. Because in my life, I've ruined a lot of it. Like there's so many nights where I could have been found frozen, sleeping out in the cold because I was in the park or something. You know, I was homeless for a long time, real long time. I could have been, you know, frozen to my wits' end. You know, hypothermia, all that, found frozen somewhere in an alley, or all the enemies I made because I was out, hustling like I was doing wrong to get money. I was sticking everything moving. If you had money or anything glimmering that I thought was worth some money, I was taking it. And I used to do it just to get locked up, just so I had somewhere to sleep. It's because I was afraid. I had no fear of nothing but that cold, the outside, knowing that I had nowhere to go. I'm like, damn, where am I gonna go to sleep? Like, I just want to go rest. So I'm like, you know what? 3 hots in a cot for free. I'm gonna go catch a case.
Wow.
I did it for years, bro. Yeah, like I work with a program called the STAR program now, and I'm so glad, I'm grateful for them too, because they came into my life, and I was actually facing 25 to life, but they ended up giving me a life sentence because of habitual. I got myself locked up so much times they labeled me a habitual offender. So I pretty much, in the eyes of the court, they didn't think I was ever gonna change, and I just like never really spoke up for myself in court. Like I just used to just let them do whatever the hell they wanted because I ain't had nowhere else to go anyway. I had more time than money, so I was just like, forget it. I'm just gonna, I'm in here. I live better in here anyway. I got clothes, I got nice shoes, and everything's free. I ain't gotta pay no bills, it was lavish in there. A lot of people be thinking like, oh, they living rough. Nah, they make it rough in there. But in reality, there's dudes in there that they living comfortable just because they don't know the outside is worse than the inside, than how it is on the inside. You know what I mean? Like you keep your nose down and you mind your business in jail, nobody will bother you. I was a hermit. Nobody even knew I even existed for years. I was just a hermit crab in my cell, drawing, didn't bother nobody. Didn't make no phone calls, didn't write nobody, nothing. I didn't have nobody. You know what I mean? So like I digress, but I say that to say this, man. Like, there's people out there that are living way worse.
Yeah.
Every day, somebody out there is living a way worse life. You gotta be grateful for the life you got, even if it's a little bit, because you alive at least. Because there's some people out there that they didn't get a chance to change their life, and it's too late. They're gone.
I be loving, like, and that is just such amazing. That's what, like I said, that's called a testimony, which you already know, though. That's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
All the things you done went through, you still open up and still looked at and be able to find, like, that's why I be saying, like, shoot, even with that situation, it be showing that even for the people that don't believe, it show that God be watching over people all their life, majority of the time or whatever.
Yeah.
And the fact that you went through all those things, and now you here with a young one, raising one, and change your life. And
I got 6. I got 6 young ones.
Oh my! You see what I'm saying? Like, that's just it's a wonderful blessing, and like things like that happen for you to learn, to teach, and make sure the next don't have to go through it. And like I said, that's I ran out of claps. I couldn't just do it, man. My fingers was hurting, man. You just kept bringing out the claps. But it's amazing. It's amazing though, for real. Yeah, that's deep for sure. But let me get more people's up in this thing, man. I love that story, man. I love it.
Okay.
All right. Exodus, what you got for me, man?
How you doing?
Same thing. James in the building. What y'all got? What's up, y'all? Exodus.
Doing pretty good. How y'all doing?
I'm good, man.
My sister requested me up here. How you doing, Jess?
Oh, main thing.
Yeah,
Man, I ain't know everybody around here. I knew. I remember. I think I seen Exodus before. A couple of before.
You know what equipment where it's where I'm more effective. So I appreciate you from that. She know how I move.
Yeah, I remember you. I seen you before.
Let me see. I got y'all excuse my grandbaby. This is my only one grandbaby, and she has my energy. She don't know how to be quiet. But check it out. Yeah, grieving is a must, man. Anybody say that they don't have to grieve, you fooling yourself. You are fooling yourself. We have to release, man. We have to have a time period where we release. There's so much pressure going on in the world. You think about, people that they be in the industry and they deal with pressure. They be in like certain positions in companies and stuff where they have to, check the numbers, what I'm saying, on stuff, and they have to know when to pull the lever and release pressure and then pull it back, so it can maintain the power at a certain level and keep it balanced. If you just having power and you never release power at a certain time, then you're going to overload and be more destructive. So we are people that have feelings, and it's okay. We got five senses, don't we? So to sit here and be like stuff don't bother us, you lying to yourself. We're gonna experience, loss of all type of stuff, loss of people, doing to, they went on to the other realm, loss of people because you just ain't in a relationship with them no more. Loss of people because, you and them just ain't seeing eye to eye. Loss of all type of things, man. But you got to know how to release properly before you crash out like many people do on these lives, and you hear them all the time. Let them talk long enough, you'll see they dealing with something without them even saying it. But so we have to have a time period where we release, because if not, if you don't release, then you will crash out at the wrong time, wrong place, wrong time. They be like, this conversation ain't got to do with what we talking about. Why you wigging out? That's because it's something that you didn't have a time period to actually release and deal with. Mourning. Think about the word mourning. Look at the word mourning. Look at the word mourning. Mourning is the sun coming out during darkness, right? Ain't that what the word says? Morning is morning time. So that means there was some darkness. But during the darkness, that's the period of being in between darkness and full light. So there's a balance there, because you at the crack of dawn, there's morning coming on. So you got to understand that, I'm dealing with something, and I identify that I'm dealing with a problem, but at the same time, the balance is knowing that you have hope. The balance is hope, man. And hope is being able to see things that are unseen, have an evidence of seeing something that's unseen, because it says to call things to be not what they be to seen. Call things to exist is what they say, manifest, whatever. Manipulate.
Like faith and belief.
Straight up.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you can't just see by these eyes, man. Hey, if in these times right here, in these times, hey, you're gonna be deceived because they got AI.
Boy.
They got Tupac having tea with Elvis, and I just seen Kobe Bryant doing a sermon and cussing the people out. What the heck going on?
But boy, they going crazy with Kobe.
Yeah, I saw one with Michael Jackson too.
Mm-hmm. Michael Jackson always stealing something out the store for some reason. I don't know why.
and Martin Luther King.
Yeah, he was doing stunts, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw Michael Jackson with what was his name? With one of the rappers that passed away, and they all look around and say, "Oh man!" But they've been playing that for Michael Jackson for years, since Back to the
God,
Future.
I wish Michael Jackson would do the Thriller in my butt. Fuck me.
I knew it, man. I was just about to tell my rookie mom to not let her up. You gotta look at the followers first. She's like, I'm blocking it.
Yeah, I think we really is in the Matrix though, because
hold on, brother, hold on. But this is the thing about mourning, man. Mourning is a healthy release. Let me run that back so you can hear it. Mourning is a healthy release. If you don't release and you think you too strong or you never mourn, you're gonna release in an unhealthy way. That's why you got people that's joining gangs, joining all type of organizations that's destructive. You know what I'm saying? You might cheat on your husband, cheat on your man, or something like that. Why? Because your butt didn't get to release properly, and you mourning over something that happened in your childhood or your life situations and stuff like that, because it's done took over you, and you thinking you too tough now. Nope, we are more fragile than what we think we are. I don't care how much weights we've been pumping up to get a physique or none of that type stuff. Man, you know what? There's a lot of tough people in the grave right now. There's a lot of tough people that's in a straight right now. There's a lot of tough people that's behind bars right now. There's a lot of tough people that are committed to unspeakable right now on their own selves. You're not as tough as you think you are. You're gonna need the spirit, man, to rule and abide within you in these times. Anybody think they are God by themselves, you a fool. And I said that, and I don't. And
Pride. So pride do the. Yeah.
I said that, and ain't no take backs. You a fool. You're gonna need something higher than yourself, and you're gonna have to reach into what they say, that spiritual bank when you don't have it because you're dealing with something, and whatever you put in that spiritual bank, which is with Abba Yahuwah, Ashaya, God, and he gonna kick in. Why? Because you don't put in with faith and during your time of going through stuff, because we're not exempt. Every last one of us are gonna be tried, man, and go through that fire. I promise you, live long enough, you're gonna experience it. You're gonna have to reach into that bank and see what you got in your account. And if you don't have none, you're gonna be out there as a bum. Straight up. It's that simple. You may be strong now. You may think you got everything in order and all that. Yeah, everybody thought that. I thought that. Seriously. But you're gonna need to dip into that spiritual bank, man. If you don't have it, you're gonna be out there looking crazy. Just keep living. Keep living. But I suggest. I'm not force feeding. I suggest, out of love, that you hold tight, man, in your youth, while you got everything going on and you're strong, that you deposit in that bank account of heaven with all your might. So when the time comes, you can be like King Hezekiah when he got sick and he was about to unalive that day. What'd he do? He just looked to the wall and started talking to God, man. Instead of being like, whoa, it's me. He started reminding of God of what he deposited. And guess what? The Heavenly Father's like, you right? Yeah, you right. You did do that, right? I'm going to give you 15 more years. So he got to see his grandkids and all type of stuff going on. Man, I'm going to land right there. Chew on that.
Nice. Like he stuck his chest out too. That's what I like in this room. People stick their chest. What you got for me, Eric?
Hello, before I end up going to cover what's the topic, so I won't go too far gone because I came on a positive level, but what's the topic? So I won't be.
So basically, we just talking about mourning. How you feel about mourning and grieving? How you feel about that?
Been there, done that. Let me explain. I was mourning when my grandma gone. I was mourning that my spirits told me it was gonna happen. And it's like a parent where I already exploded about feeling like the world was at the final destination. Cause you know how they always say when people pass away, God, you left me with this bull crap. Well, I already deal with that. And now I'm just taking that mourning to another level of purpose. Cause everything happened for a reason. I mean, I can't be strong forever, but spirituality, we all here for a reason. And sometimes, what's that say? When you burn hard enough, you turn to a phoenix, even though it might not last that long. So I'm in my phoenix stage of evolving from chaos to that. Because I had a good life. I had good credit. Grandma was here. All that slowly messed up. So now I'm at that flight or flight mode, but I'm a little bit more immune to it. Because I don't fear the D word, but I ain't dumb enough to speed it up either. So it's like saying, ooh, I want to see God. But then I'm like, I ain't in a hurry because if you see him, you might only see him only one way. But what all this got to do is I live in Chicago. And in a weird way, I kind of sense this stuff is going to happen over here. But I'm also afraid, but I'm also curious because it seems like my dream world is coming out with my real world. So I'm, like I said, evolving those two worlds together to hear a common denominator of what's real, what's fake. So basically, I'm dealing with a matrix within a matrix. So AI ain't nothing on my dreams. Put it like that. If I can beat my dreams, I can beat the AI. Put it like that.
Right.
Yeah. Because it's all spiritual. A lot of people don't know that every day that we touch something is science in everything. But the one thing that can't discover is your dreams and your spirit. And sometimes we all have instincts. Women got them, men got them, but we too busy competing against each other instead of tuning into the real vibration like a radio. And sometimes just a short period of time, you would think God talking to you by doing that, but then that'd be a warning system. And right there at that moment, it's the real test of spiritual warfare. And I kind of tuned into it, almost like I meant to hear it. It's just the way it did it, man, it blew my mind. Now, I ain't saying like I'm God or anything. No, it's just we more than human. Put it like that. God said we're his children, right? So should we listen to the daddy when he called us? So yeah, that's all I'm saying like that. And by me living in Chicago and everybody said, oh, why you didn't freak out because of that martial law? Well, my dreams told me that's still going to happen. But you also told me I was going to have money. You also told me some other stuff. But my granddad always say, don't fall into the lion's den on purpose. So that's where I'm at in my life right now.
Okay.
Hope I didn't throw you too far off of what I was saying.
Nah, I hear you. I hear you.
So how's your day?
I'm blessed, man. Every day I'm blessed. Blessed, trying to make the best out of it every day.
I know, right? Because I really want to cut stuff out, but I'm keeping my cool. I'm keeping my cool. Rent went up. Link card, they don't want to give me no link.
It's like you mentioned before, you got God on your side, so you'll figure a way.
Yeah, my human side want to go crazy, but my spiritual side,
I get you.
Man,
It's
I'm
blessed.
gonna wake up out this matrix one day. It's gonna be a dream.
There you go. All right, let me see what main thing talking about. Yeah.
What's up, Kev?
What up? What you got for me?
More for selfish reasons the majority of the time. Yeah, I think a lot of people do. Because you would have people out here talking about, oh, the reason I sit up here and fight people is because shit, my mama died. Like, what?
Man,
You don't know what I go through on the daily. Like, what? Go see a therapist. The hell? And I think a lot of people, they don't realize that they're mourning over selfish reasons. Because it'll be like, oh, I take care of my kids because, you know, I got a lot going on mentally. And it's like, God damn. You can't put that shit to the side till, you know, you get yourself together. Like, you got to get yourself together. Sometimes you got to realize you got to let go and move on. And I'm not saying let go of the person, but let go of the feeling of wanting to dwell. Because dwelling is something that can put you in a depression. It's something that can literally make you crash out. So I think a lot of people got to understand when you are mourning, understand mourning is for a moment. It's not for a lifetime. It's not something to hold on to for a lifetime. This is something that happens, that comes with the world. When I lost my grandpa, I didn't know what was happening, but I just seen he hurted the family when he passed. Because I'm looking at, I done seen my grandma literally break down, like to the point where her muscles stopped working. She could no longer eat for herself. She could no longer walk for herself. So I seen that when he passed, that it really affected your lover. So, and I felt like my grandmother, she never moved on after him. She literally stayed true to my grandpa even to the day she passed. It didn't matter how many times she fought, but one thing that she didn't pour onto us. And I think people don't realize when you lose somebody, I get that you hurting, right? But make sure you can teach your children that, the hurt not gonna last long. Teach your kids that you still can get up and make something happen. You can still sit up here and, continue to try to give them a good life or live a good life, a happy life. Even though you did lose a loved one that you did feel like was near and dear to your heart. So learn to walk with people in spirit and not hold on so much to the hurt, because you ain't gonna get nowhere holding on to that hurt.
That was good, man. I like that part where she said dwelling. Go ahead, Taps. What'd you say?
That knowledge is always typically gained after the mourning process and not during the mourning process. It's not something that you can quickly identify while being on the middle of the inside of the storm, unless you have a certain capacity for emotional intelligence and being able to, say, hey, this is where I am right now. This is the reason as to why, and it's completely normal. A lot of people don't have that emotional intelligence, though. So you don't get that realization until you're out of it. Now you can start saying things like, "Hey, you'll get over it. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. Look, toughen up." That those words they aren't easily found in the process.
Nope.
I can see that.
I totally agree.
Yeah. Let me get an event in real quick. Hold over here. Let me just get an event in, and then y'all can go. Event planner, what you got for me?
Hello. Oh, geez, this is so grim. I will say I've actually never, I'm so grateful I still have both my mom and my dad. So I never had to experience this intense type of grieving when you lose a loved one. I've lost a grandparent, and that was about as much as the grieving was, which it wasn't even that deep. It wasn't that sorrowful, but do we mourn for selfish reasons the majority of the time? I don't I don't think it's selfish, because I think if people could choose, people would choose not to grieve, or they would choose not to feel sad. I think the pain is it's so involuntary that sometimes you will be having a good time with your friend and you'll be out, and then you'll just notice a small little object that reminds you of the person that you lost. And then out of nowhere you're just crying and you're sad and you feel very depressed, and it's this pain that no one really has a book on how to move through. You just kind of have to live through the experience, and the pain doesn't go away. I guess it just kind of subsides a little bit. I wouldn't say it's selfish. It's just, I mean, if I could choose, I would choose not to grieve people at all, because I don't want to be in pain.
I think we
But
can
yeah.
choose. I believe we can choose, though it might take time, but I believe we can just really drop, because that's like almost saying that we can't heal, and that's another part
Well,
of healing. And I believe people
how do
can.
you choose your emotion? Like, if you let me give an
Perspective.
example, right? If you, let's say you're sad about something. I'm trying to think about the last time I was sad. Okay, uh, oh geez. Okay, the last time I was sad was when I lost my job, right? I have a new job now, but like the last time I was sad, I was very sad because I was like, oh dang, I just lost my job, and how am I gonna take care of this and that? And I cried, and the pain, like, it just, the pain, it comes, and you wanna get rid of it, and you just wanna move and learn from the situation. But the pain, it's not like I didn't choose to feel sad, it just came, you
I
know?
got you on that. I get you. Okay, I got a quick one. I'm gonna get you to answer yourself. Have you ever had a situation where you used to be angry about, but now you laugh at?
Yes.
Yes, that's how that works.
I
Eventually,
think
and it's about perspective, really. Point of view. That's
Isn't
that
it
point of
time?
view.
Isn't it time?
Isn't it time? What you mean?
I mean, it's time because the situations that I was so embarrassed and sad about in the past, years have passed.
Yeah,
And with
yeah.
years, so much time goes, and that problem doesn't even affect you anymore because of how much time
Yeah.
has gone.
You explaining it
And
now,
it's
'cause
like, I can
yeah,
look back and I can laugh because it's hilarious. Because back then I'm like, oh geez, I thought my world was ending. Like when I was in pre-K, right? I remember this kid. This is pre-K me, so I'm probably like 4 or something. I'm like, some toddler, and this little girl, she blew my birthday candle. At that time, I cried for a good, I want to say, hours because my parents, my mom, my preschool teacher, they were trying to console me. And at that time, I'm sure like I thought the world was ending. And now it's just a funny, silly story. But I mean, in that moment, it feels like it's the end of the world because, again, maybe you're young, you're immature, and you don't have the
hmm
life or the time to look back. So you're just thinking, oh my gosh, this evil woman, she blew my birthday cake, she stole my wish. What's wrong with her? You know?
Well, right there, what you just did, you just proved that you can overcome. You can. You don't have to be stuck. It's like you were saying. You said, how do you? You said you basically was feeling like you have to stay in grief or react the same way. But I think part of healing is when you no longer react the same way when it first began. If you still reacting or see it from the same point of view, you haven't changed your perspective about it or found or try to figure a way to get out of it. And then I think that's what makes it. And I would say the overall thing, right? The reason why I threw selfish in there, I noticed the more selfish you are, is the more you hold on to it because you don't look at it outside of yourself. You don't look at it from a negative. You go most of the time we project. Well, they could have done this. They could have did like these people that we talking about. They in their own world. You know what I'm saying? They probably not even thinking about you. You thinking about them more than they thinking about you. They probably enjoying their spiritual, whatever people believe in. So they're not about to be just waiting over and hovering over you all day when they got their own agenda they gotta be worried about. They're not about to be like, hey, I wonder if you're doing okay. I mean, they probably got other stuff. They probably in heaven, if it was, if people that believe in heaven floating around doing their own thing and enjoying infinity, well, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think a lot of times, yes, that's just like when parents tend to live through their kids and stuff. Well, that's what they want to do. And this is what you want to do. And you're trying to tell your kid that's what they, so a lot of times, yes, I think it is be selfish reasons of why we get
Yeah.
stuck. You know what I'm saying? So let me get
Well,
go ahead. Who that?
I was just gonna say, was it a choice or was it just a natural progression where it
You
just
choose. I believe it's
eased?
choice. Like I believe struggle is choice. A lot of I believe it. Yeah, I believe a lot of things are choice. Yeah. So you
I
can
can.
stick in a certain stage if you want to, because if you want to figure out how to get out of it, you're gonna try to find a way to figure out how to get out of it. But the thing is, like somebody just put in the comments, a lot of people get attention, they get rewarded for it, so they don't want to get out of it, because they're, a lot of time they get put up or they have it their way out of it. So yeah, you can choose. You literally can choose. It's just different respect. I mean, just changing your point of view or what you prioritize. Just like I realized this is an example for you. Like watching basketball, right? My spirit and heart used to be so into it, especially if it's one of my team, or if I go back to watching it, it'd be making me so mad if my team don't make it. But if I'm not focused on it and I'm just paying attention to like I'm doing now, right? I don't be having time to watch a lot of these games because I'm trying to focus on other things and stuff. So my emotions, it can't get tied to this stuff. And some of the times I didn't even know that some of my teammates done switched to different teams and stuff. That's how much I'm not focused on it. You see what I'm saying? But I used to have so many emotions tied to it, like, dang, why they missed that layup? And why this could have, I can't believe they lost this whole game. You could think about that, but then, like I said, it just depending on your point of view, how you view it, how you make it, how important do you make it in your life? So a lot of times,
Yeah.
yes, you can literally choose to struggle over something, to stress over something, you literally can choose that. And you can choose how to get out of it too.
Yeah. I think it's all about like you said, different points of view and different experience. While at the same time, all depends on how deep in the matrix you is. Because some people ain't that deep as other people. Like me, I've been way deep, way deep. My whole life was around my grandma and my mom, only because that's how they raised me, right? But the thing about it is also because I also had other trials,
Hmm?
and my other trials.
You better answer that phone, boy.
And my other trials was more difficult than that, like disability, all the other stuff. So I was born in trials, right? So, but somehow I slowly got out of it. But then when it came to my grandma and mama, I was so loyal to them, trying to keep the peace, making them happy. I never figured out how to make myself happy. And then when they both passed away a year from each other, it made me mad. Like I wasted time, space, energy, and even my job boss passed, right? My whole environment changed. It's like I felt like it was a higher power that was in my way. To a point I scream out so loud, I'm ready for you. Then all of a sudden the weird stuff started happening in the real world. Then I said, whoa, is it me or the vibe? Even the thing, you know how they say when you fall down through a trap, all of a sudden everything you see around you collapse. But then I said, hold on, I must be a warrior because in the dream world, I face these fears. Then I said, man, am I on my own hey-ho? You know, then I asked myself, these my fears that I'm facing? Then that's how I slowly got out of it when I realized the parent of the dream world, the real world, saying, hey, you all the stuff you told yourself that you wasn't gonna do because you're strong, it would never happen to you, start happening to you. While others say, hey, look, you face that. So it's like your two-sided self. So everybody's different, but the vibration of you seeing your worst fears and facing it will gonna be in every realm of your life to a point that sooner or later you're gonna fight the very opposite you said it would never happen. And I'm at that place right now. And somehow it's a good thing and a bad thing. Because I show no fear because I just look at it like a mirror of myself. That's how I deal with my issues.
See, especially when it comes to a person passing, my mourning process is hard, and it's not something that I choose to do, but it is surrounded around my beliefs. So when a person passes, and thank Yahweh, I still got my pops, my mom, my grandma. Thank Yahweh for that. But when a person passes in my beliefs and what was taught, I won't see them again. So I don't have that space cushion of I'll see you in heaven, or I can't see you soon, or you feel me? Those things that people have, I don't have those things. So my mourning process hits very hard because I have to mourn not only your absence, but your absence in forever. So I can't say that mourn is always a choice, because like the young lady was saying at one point, time does heal all wounds, and it'll also start making you feel guilty because you don't realize that you forgot, but your body always have some way of shape, the way of form to remind you of today marks a day that something was lost. And like in
The
times when
time heals.
say that again.
You said time heals?
Yeah, they say time
According
heals
to
all
what you
wounds.
said, then that means it just wouldn't happen because you would have to choose to heal in time. Because if you don't want to or figure, because it just don't happen on its own. I think I ain't gonna lie. I think that's the biggest issue nowadays because people think that when you sweep stuff under the rug, that it's just gonna heal on its own. But all it's gonna do is
Yeah,
re-trigger something.
that's not time. That's not time healing. That's a person sweeping it under the rug. How can I
Right.
can't say time heals and don't apply any action towards that.
Yeah,
I
so
can't
your
say I'm
action is
mourning.
your action is what the choice is. That's what I'm saying. So your choice eventually in time, yes, is
Oh
gonna
yeah,
go away.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
I'm
mean
not
by choice. Yeah.
That's why I said it's like a battle.
so it's like it's not so okay, let me rephrase what I was saying. I can't always say that it's by choice. Because you do have some people that that decides to weaponize grief and mourning and healing. All these things can be weaponized because of how corrupt we are as people.
Uh-huh.
So these people will weaponize these things and use it to what they view to be their advantage, for sympathy, for grace, and for grace when you commit a fucking harm towards a person. They'll pull that card right there. Oh, I'm going through something, like I said earlier. But for those people that don't decide to fucking weaponize these things, though, time does heal, because these people are not just sitting in this; they are applying action towards these things.
I totally agree.
Maybe
So
it
that's
is
my
a
thought.
choice because some people they don't really want to grieve. They want to substitute it with something else, with distractions. It could be alcohol, it could be cannabis, it could be,
I
and
believe
if
you.
you're not, yeah, if you're not feeling the pain, you're not processing it. I guess it'll take you a longer
Yeah.
time to accept that the person is gone and heal. I think maybe my perspective with the time thing is I don't think I actively chose to move on from the situation. I think it was just a natural progression where other things were happening in my life and time went on, days, weeks, months, years, and that situation, it wasn't the main focal point anymore. I wasn't being reminded of it every single day. And then, now that you bring up, oh, when's the time you were hurt? It's now that I could think back, oh, wait, actually, I remember a couple months ago, this thing happened. And at that time, I remember feeling bad. But now it's hilarious. I could laugh at it, or at least I could think back to the funny moments because I kind of it wasn't on my mind every single day, which is hard to think about something every single day. I mean, with grief, with losing a loved one, you're probably going to think about it for a long time, for a couple
Well,
of weeks, a couple of months, maybe even years. But I think just time, it's not, unless I don't know. I just don't know how to
No,
explain. It's not a
it's
choice. It's
different.
just, it
It's just
goes.
it's just
It's a
different for
natural
everybody.
progression, a natural breeze that's just lifted.
It's just different for everybody. Like I even thought, oh, I'm gonna go buy some shoes to feel good, and those shoes were $60, and that was the last good paycheck I had. So it's like a reveal. Like they say,
so,
this year is the reveal, right? Well, technically, when you think about all those people that passed away, it's a reveal for everyone. We're not realizing the common denominator of what evolvement. That's when we become from boys to men. Because after all, we can't stay kids forever, right? So when
yeah.
all our
Hey, real quick,
ancestors,
Eric. Real quick. Let me. I do want to say something real quick, and then I want to get tired in because you haven't said anything though. But this the part I was meaning, and main thing said the key word, dwelling. When you dwell in something, right? That's where the choice come in, because we do have the choice to dwell. What's one thing we do have a choice to. I realize that we focus on, like, that's like getting angry about something, and we keep focusing, and was a lot of time we purposely do it to not get out that feeling. Like if somebody make us mad, we're going to think of many different reasons to stay mad so we can get this thing, whatever we got towards a certain person. Just like I believe also, like, even with temptation, you got a choice, right? So you don't have to dwell. Let's say that's gonna be the key word tonight, because I like what main thing said on that one. That was good. If you dwell on it, you dwell on that fat booty, and that's for the men, right? If they just dwell on look at fat booty girls in front of their face and stuff, eventually you're gonna get tempted. You're gonna start lusting and all that stuff, because you have the choice to prevent from getting attached to it by not dwelling in it, right? So I think dwelling, that's where the choice come in at. Like, even if you want to go to having this memory, with you look at something and it reminds you of this situation. If you dwell in it, that's when the grieving start happening, and it start getting worse. But if you choose to change your the way you, like I said, the way you view it, or even just not think about it. Think about something else, put something else in your mind, not a drink in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people do that, but then it get even worse. You know what I'm saying? But like, that's where the choice come in. That, like, you don't have to dwell in things. That's the thing you can control. You might not can't control the memory, but dwelling in it, yes, you can, because you literally can occupy your mind on something else. You don't have to sit and think about it. You know, because some people try to add more and more and more. They start tearing up like this happened and add more and more and more stuff. That's something that you choose to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm kind of getting to about that. You know, when you add more and more and more to it, that's what energy in general, like any energy, like if you dwell in anger and dwell in jealousy, you dwell in you know, all these other things. Even happiness, it extends, it just grows. You know, but let me get Tyron in, and then I'll go back to open panel real quick.
What's up, man?
What up, man? How you feeling?
Pretty good. Today's a good day.
Mm-hmm.
So, earlier this year, I lost my cousin, and I'm not gonna lie to you, man. If I lost any of my other cousins, it probably wouldn't really affect me that much. But she took a toll on me, bro. And the reason is, back when we were younger, she came to live with us for a little while because her parents couldn't control her. My dad talked her into joining the Air Force. That ended up being my blueprint. I always looked up to her. Her name was Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
The sweetest person. She was great when she was with us. She joined the Air Force the next year. I was a freshman in high school. I went into ROTC. Did that all 4 years. Joined the Air Force after I graduated high school. And honestly, today I wouldn't be where I am had it not been for her input on my life. And honestly, she is probably the greatest loss that I've experienced in my lifetime so far. I do still tear up a little bit talking about her because she still means so much to me. She was a lighthouse, bro. But yes, there are stages, and this was early this year. For the first few weeks, I was absolutely destroyed by it. And thinking back on it and talking about it does hurt a little bit, but at the end of the day, we do quote unquote get over things, but we do it in our own way. Sometimes we cope, like you said, sometimes we reach for a bottle, sometimes we reach for something else. At the end of the day, though, I think what hurts my heart the most is there is an epidemic happening in our country with veterans. And we lose 22 a day to self-harm, and that's how we lost her. And I think it just hurts more because I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you I don't have some of those thoughts sometimes. I'm fine. Y'all, I'm good. I promise. I feel like I missed out on an opportunity to help her. And I think that's what bugs me. But at the end of the day, I don't dwell on that every day. I don't think about her every day. Would I like to? Yes. Was she a very, very important part of my life? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I still got work to do. I still got kids to take care of. I've still got my wife, my dogs, my house. Y'all, I'm telling you right now, the point I'm trying to make is grief happens in everybody a little bit differently. And the circumstances behind the reason the grief was placed there matter. They don't always matter a whole hell of a lot. But the way that you process that grief is going to be determined by the circumstances in which that grief was placed upon you. And I'm telling you right now, your greatest loss could be your grandmother or one of your parents. I have not lost either of my parents yet, thankfully. And I'm sure that's going to hit me pretty hard. It's going to hit me like a freight train, I'm sure. Thank the Lord I have not lost one of my children, because I think that would undo me. But I'm telling you right now, grief is necessary. It's part of our human experience. I'm with the host. I don't think we should dwell on these things and keep them pent up inside. I think we should experience grief in the moment and try our best to work through it. And hell, lean on other people if you need to. That's it. I'm good. I'm done. That was a good time on your part, boss.
Right. What the That was nice. That was nice. For sure, man. That's the main thing.
I think the funny thing about grief is this. When you think you over with and you realize the earth shook and felt your vibration. I don't know if y'all watch Dragon Ball Z when you get real mad and the earth shakes. Point is, when we realize we're more than just human and the vibration around you change, like your taste buds, your needs and wants, you start seeing that, hold on, I'm out the matrix. Hold on, I see something bigger than myself. And I think that's where the test of your old self and your new self evolve the most, where you're going to either go back to your old ways and get back in the matrix, or you're going to evolve and say, whoa, it's something bigger than myself. And did I get left behind, or I'm ahead of the game? that I see things outside, because sometimes grief kind of lets you see the light in the darkness to a point you say, man, I got these ego eyes seeing that I see the cause and effect of everything. And sometimes it leads you to purpose and leadership. And sometimes it leads you to revenge. I think that's when you test your real intelligence and your real desires. Because right there, you realize that it's the two-sided sword of yourself, finding yourself in the middle of a lot of other things. And you realize how to balance yourself out. It might not last that long because you'll forget years later. But at that short moment, that's the best time of your life to realize you can be more than what you think you can be.
Hey, Kev, I'm about to go ahead and slide up out of here, my boy. Hey, you be easy, not greasy, you're sleazy. Hey, Tyrant, keep God in your life, fuck nigga.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Can I speak to the stages real quick?
For sure.
It's not about the cousin. This is going to be about a divorce. My first wife, when we got divorced, I grew up with parents that fought tooth and nail constantly and refused to get divorced, even though we begged them on multiple occasions to. So I grew up kind of with this mindset that you can work through anything. So when my first divorce happened, I moved halfway across the country for a job offer while this was happening. And I'm not going to lie to you, man. I went through all of the stages. There was the anger, the bargaining. Grief doesn't have to come from loss of a life. It can come from any type of loss, right? And I'm telling you, man, I lost my kids in the divorce at first. I'm the sole custody person now, but during that time period, it was rough, and they do exist. There are really stages of grief, and they are real, and they hurt, and it's a lot to work through when you're not ready for it. I was angry that I felt like she betrayed the idea that we could stay together and work through it. Then I bargained with her to see if she would please move halfway across the country with me so that I could help take care of her and the kids. And then the depression hit. And then, I mean, I'm telling you, the stages are real. And not all people experience them the same. It's a person by person basis, but those stages are definitely real. And they played themselves out in proper order until I realized there was no getting over it and there was no fighting that demon. And then I just walked away from it.
Mic drop.
I mean, at some point you have to tell yourself that it's over and you've got to walk away. Otherwise, you're going to destroy yourself, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a healthy way to look at it.
You can sit there and, like the host said, dwell on crap and continue living in those emotions and playing them over and over and over again, or you can walk away. And you can decide that your mental health and your physical health are more important than dredging yourself through wallowing in misery. Let's just put it that way. Bro, I thought everybody was muted too. I was like, what happened?
Nah. I was in the middle all right, what happened?
And since nobody else is talking, I'm going to answer that last one too. My best advice to overcome grief is to live in it. But again, taking a page out of the host's book here, don't dwell. Live in it and let it do its thing. And it's going to hurt. You just got to let it hurt. It's kind of like your mom always told you, I got to take this Band-Aid off. It's going to suck, but I'm taking it off. Or I got to pull this tooth. It's loose. It's coming out anyway. It's going to suck for a minute, but I got to do it. Live in it for a minute. Let it do its thing. Let it run its course. And then don't necessarily walk away, but go back to life. Love your kids. Love your wife. girlfriend, whatever. Get a phone call. Later, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yo. Oh my. What the heck happened to everybody? Waiting to you, tyrant. So how long you been on? I was let me see, kid. How long? No, I've been on for like about. Let me see. Let's see how long have I been on. Let's see. That thing usually tell me the time. Oh, 2 hours. 2 hours and 6 minutes. Yeah. Dang, what happened to everybody? Just went away and came back. It is what it is, I guess. Hmm. Yeah, that's. I think. I guess to get to the deepen of this. Um, I think, like I said, I think the key word is that's what I'm trying to get to. Like, the more we dwell into whatever energy, the deeper it gets. With the situation, the more we start grieving, the more we start um basically focusing on it. Start losing. So I think that's also what make it becomes dangerous because like the more you dwell in it, the more decisions and false things that you start putting in your mind and making extra about and stuff, and then it becomes like it's just crazy. He said, "I've been grieving the sudden passing of my. Thought I might learn something new. Sudden passing of my. Yeah." And I do, and the thing is, I know it do take times. It takes time. Um, yeah, with each person it take time though, especially if it's first. Like I look at it as like almost the same as like forgiveness, right? Like forgiveness that take a minute though, and then depending on how much this person has impacted you in your life, and just so many things. I don't know what happened to everybody. I went to go answer the phone. Well, that was weird. Everybody left. Whatever. Might have to refresh. No, what time is it? No, I ain't gonna be on this thing for too long. I'll let it rock. What's up? What's up, babe? But yeah, I think that like the man, why I can't talk. I think the main thing is like what was said, like I said, if we dwell in certain things, a lot of times it's we get stressed out because of the self
It's a selfishness behind it. That's what prolongs it and stuff. But hold up. I might do. What time is it? I'll probably do another hour real quick. I'm just gonna refresh the live.